Hello crafty friends, my name's Alicia, but you can call me Crafty Al, and welcome to my April 2025 SheetLoad Rewind video. I hope you'll stick around to see which month we're revisiting and see how I'm going to make 4 quick and easy mini slimline cards. Welcome, or perhaps welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here for today's video. Each month, I get together with some of my SheetLoad creative team members for a SheetLoad Rewind. This is when we revisit a past SheetLoad of Cards edition. Sometimes they are current ones in the last 2 years, and others, like this month, they are ones that are coming out of the vault for a limited time. This month, we are taking another crack at the April 2022 SheetLoad of Cards. This edition originally called for 4 pieces of 6x6 pattern paper and would yield you 8 mini slimline cards with a bit of a fun fold. Now, I know that after seeing my cards, you're going to want to see what the rest of the team members did, so make sure to check out the playlist in the description box below, and also featured as an end card at the end of this video. I know that everybody would love for you to stop by, see what they created, and leave them some love. Now, if you don't yet have this printable, if you are a subscriber to my channel, at the end of today's video, I will tell you how you can download it for free before it goes back into the vault next month. Don't forget, if you're a channel member, you have continued access to this file and all of the ones current and in the vault through the SheetLoad archive. If you're not currently a channel member and would like to find out more about the perks, you can click on the join button below this video or the link in the description box below. Now that I've told you all of the details about the hop and this series, let's start talking about my cards today. Instead of choosing 4 pieces of 6x6 pattern paper for 8 cards, I decided to choose 2 from the Simple Stories Vintage Bliss 6x6 paper pad. Now, I have been going through the process very quickly so far, and that's because I do have the original process video with lots more details, and I will link that in the description box below if you want to check it out and get more of a step-by-step for the cutting. But for now, let's go ahead and slow it down just a little bit as I tell you more about how I decorated and embellished my 4 mini slimline cards. The first part of decorating I'm going to work on will be the sentiment. This originally calls for a 3" by 1" piece and a piece for the shadow. For now, I'm going to use one of the scraps from when I cut my card bases and a sentiment from the Waffle Flower Crafts Inside Sentiment Thank You set that reads, "It's people like you that make the world a better place. Thank you for all that you do." Now, because my sentiment is a little bit skinnier, I ended up cutting these pieces to 1 inch tall by 2.5 inches wide. Again, SheetLoad is always a great jumping off point for you to make these cards your own and to fit the needs for your sentiment or focal point. To stamp the sentiments, I chose Tropical Punch ink from Tailored Expressions, and I was able to set this up one time using the Misty and then stamp all 4 of my sentiment pieces. I did keep the sentiment to the right side of that piece because I knew part of the left will eventually end up being covered by my focal point. Next, I brought in a scrap of the same color cardstock, Tropical Punch, to cut the shadow piece. Again, I'm going to adjust this for my sentiment, so I cut 4 pieces that were 2.5 inches wide by 1 inch tall. As suggested by the sketch, I decided I would embellish the left side of my sentiment a little bit, and to go with the butterflies on one of the pattern papers, I brought in a couple dies from my stash. I'm going to cut the shadow from kind of that light text pattern paper and the detailed from a pink pattern paper. Both of these pieces came from that same Simple Stories paper pad. After I cut those pattern papers into strips that were just a little bit wider than each of the dies, I brought in my Spellbinder's Scout die cutter and cut out 4 of each shape. I just love this little guy for smaller dies. Let me know in the comment section below if you have a mini die cutter in your stash. Once all of the pieces were die cut, I brought in my liquid glue to put the two layers together. Now I did glue mine down completely, putting some dots on the larger areas of that detail butterfly, but you could have definitely, or I could have definitely, left only the body glued down so I could pop the wings up just a little bit for some more dimension. While I finish adhering those together, I'll give you a little fun Call Me Crafty owl fact. If you didn't know it, I love to create and craft with butterflies, but in real life they freak me out. I think it might be the unpredictability of their flight path. Next, I used that same liquid glue to put together my sentiment pieces. I added it to the back of the stamped piece and then placed it on the front of its shadow a little up and to the left. This just helps it stand out from the background later and adds a little more color. This is also one of those steps you could leave out if you do something different for your sentiments or just don't want to cut these. Now that both pieces of my focal point are ready, I got those added to the card bases. I did go ahead and keep everything nice and flat for mailing and adhered both pieces down with liquid glue. Now while I work on that, I realize I haven't talked too much about the card base or the card size itself. The April 2022 SheetLoad of cards was a mini slimline edition, and when I was creating the sketch, I wanted to try to figure out a card base where I could have the fold on that short edge. But because I make my mini slimlines 6 1/4 inches wide when folded and 3 1/4 inches tall, I knew that I wouldn't be able to do a landscape out of an 11-inch piece of paper. So instead, I made it kind of a fun fold, and the front of the card base shows a little bit what is on the inside of the card. This way also, you can get 2 card bases from one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. To add a little more decoration and use up some of my pattern paper scraps, off camera I punched some partial circles from the same pink that I die cut the detail butterflies from. I'm going to add those to that inside piece with some liquid glue so that it shows from the front just a little bit up and to the right of the sentiment. Let me know what your favorite thing is to do with your pattern paper scraps. To finish the cards off, I wanted to add a little sparkle, so I brought in some glittery embellishments from my stash, and I added 3 of those to the body of the butterfly and 2 over on that pink partial circle. And here are some close-up looks at all 4 finished cards. I hope you enjoyed today's rewind and seeing how I made these 4 fun fold mini slimline cards. If you did, as always, a thumbs up is appreciated. Don't forget to visit the rest of the videos in today's hop. And now let me tell you how you can download the printable for free. If you would like to make some mini slimline cards for yourself and have not yet downloaded the April 2022 printable, as always, I do ask that you're subscribed to my channel. It's free, it's quick, it's easy, and we do just go on the honor system. So please, before I tell you where the link is at, which I'll do that here in just a minute, make sure you've clicked on that subscribe button below. You're going to find the link for the April 2022 PDF down in the description box right below my P.O. Box address. Below the link, it will say to watch the video for a password, but you watching this far is your password. I hope that you have fun getting crafty with this, and until my next video, I hope you're all having a crafty day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch all the way to the end of the video. I hope now you'll consider clicking on one of the videos or playlists I have linked above. And if you are interested in any of the products or tools I used in today's video, I do have some links in the description box below.